Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Mind Your Exam. So in this video we would be studying about what are loops. We would be looking into what is the general functioning of loops, and then we would be studying about one particular type of loop in Python programming language, and that is the for loop. Okay, so let us first understand what do we mean by a loop. So loop means to execute a set of statements repetitively or again and again. So instead of writing the same set of statements multiple times in your program, you can just use a loop that is provided by the Python programming language, and then using the loop you can write that set of statements that you want to repeat only once and only specify that how many times you want the task to be performed, to be repeated. Okay. So loops basically allow you to repeat a task depending on some condition. So as long as that condition is true, the loop will keep on executing and it will evaluate all those statements that are present within the loop block. And as soon as the condition becomes false, the loop will stop, it will terminate, and no further repetition of the statements would take place. Okay. So the start and the stop of the loop is determined by a condition, and within that condition there is a specific control variable whose value keeps on modifying with each iteration of the loop, and whenever that value reaches or satisfies a particular condition, the loop terminates. So we will be seeing how all this happens when we see our for loop in just towards the end of the video. So as of now, you must understand that the condition of a loop is very important, because it is very important to end the loop eventually. If you write a loop whose condition does not come to a state when it becomes false, then the loop will never terminate, and such a loop is known as the infinite loop. Okay. So you have to avoid infinite loops, and you want to write conditions that eventually become false and let the loop terminate. Okay. Sorry. So in the Python programming language, we have two types of loops, the for loop and the while loop. We would be studying both of them in our video, starting with the for loop in our video today. So the for loop basically is used when you want to iterate over a range of values or a sequence of values. Now what do I mean when I say iterate? Iterate means that you are given a sequence that consists of multiple values, and you want to pick up each value one by one, and depending on that value you want to execute the statements that are present within the loop. So the for loop will be executed for each item that is present in the specified range, and that range can be a list of numbers or it can be a sequence like a string data type. Okay, because it also consists of multiple item or multiple values. So no matter how many items are present in that range, the loop will be executed as long as there are items still remaining in that range. Okay, so if there are 10 numbers in a given list and you are iterating the for loop for that particular list, then the loop will be executed 10 times. Okay, and for each iteration the loop actually checks if there are any further items that are remaining in the range, then the loop is executed, otherwise it is terminated. Okay, so the loop will end eventually when all the items in the range have been traversed or have been seen once. All right, so let us quickly jump into what is the syntax of a for loop. Now syntax means how will you write the for loop when you want to specify it in your program. Now for loop is written using the keyword for, then you specify one variable that will one by one take on the values of this particular sequence, and then there is a colon mark, and after an indentation of one level in the next line you will write the statements that you want to execute once this particular condition is true. Now here the condition is if the value that is taken by the control variable lies in this sequence. That means there are values that are present in the sequence which have not been seen, which have not been taken up by the control variable till now. Then as long as this is true, you have to execute the statements. Okay, so if my control variable is, say I name it I, and my sequence is the list 1, 2, 3, then the syntax would be for I in list 1, 2, 3, and the statements within the for loop would be executed 3 times, because first I will take the value 1, then in the next iteration I will take the value 2, again the statements will be executed, and in the last iteration again I will take the value 3, and the third time also the statements would be executed. Now after this, again when the control gets transferred to the control variable I, there are no more values remaining in that list sequence, so the loop will terminate and the statements written after the loop in the program would be executed. So similar example I have written here also for letter in the sequence notes. Now letter is my control variable, you can give any name to it, and this particular variable letter will take on the items, the values that are present in this sequence. Now what are these values? These are the characters, the character N, O, T, E, S. Now remember that string is a sequence data type. Okay, so we have studied about sequence data types in the previous videos also. So the output that you will get from this example would be the letters N, O, T, E, S would be printed in separate lines, because by default the print statement has the value of the end parameter as endl or new line. Okay, so this is about the for loop. Now coming to another example, the second example tells you or asks you to print the odd numbers in a given sequence. So how will you be able to do that using a loop? See, you are given a sequence which is named numbers, and that sequence is a list containing 6 numbers 1 to 6. Okay, now you will iterate this list one by one using the loop control variable which I have used n here. Now for n in numbers, for each value that is taken up by n, that means for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, first I'll perform a particular condition checking. That means if n modulo 2 is not equal to 0, that means if the remainder obtained when n is divided by 2 is not equal to 0, that means the particular number n is an odd number. So if this condition holds true, I will perform the print statement that n is an odd number. Okay, so here I am using the if statement within the for loop. So this is further you are getting more into more complex statements of the Python programming language. So this was all about the for loop. These are the basic examples and syntax as I have just told you. We will be doing a very important function known as the range function in the next class. So stay tuned to our channel. Let us know how do you like our videos and this particular way of teaching with notes. Till we meet in the next video, mind your exam.